In July's still breath, when time itself seems to pause, something ancient begins to whisper, not in words, not in dates, but in silent signals, felt more than heard. The calendar turns, yes, but the cosmos moves through hidden rhythms, frequencies that stir the soul long before they reach the surface of thought. This July, the air is alive with sacred vibration. Something unseen is shifting. It's as if the veil between worlds is thinner, as if forgotten truths are floating just beyond the veil, waiting for you to remember. Have you noticed strange synchronicities? A heaviness in the chest, dreams more vivid than usual, emotions rising like lost tides. You are not imagining it. Baba Vanga once foresaw a time when those who feel more than they see will lead the way, and Nostradamus, in his veiled verses, hinted at a season when the soul would awaken through symbols hidden in plain sight. That season is now. This is divine timing. The universe is not behind, and neither are you. You are exactly where your soul needs to be, not a moment too late. In the words of the Buddha, each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. And so we begin. Let us walk slowly together through the deeper layers of this month, not by dates, but by the soul's rhythm, not by time, but by frequency, because something is calling you, and perhaps, just perhaps, your soul has been waiting for this exact moment. This very July, there comes a moment in every soul's journey when the past returns, not to haunt, but to heal. And in this sacred month, that moment arrives cloaked in the silent vibration of a number long misunderstood. 18. This is not just a number, it is a portal, a karmicus tuz, a cosmic mirror. The number 1 speaks of the self, the solitary seeker on the path. The 8 hums with the echo of infinity, the eternal return, the sacred law that what we send out must always return. Together, 18 whispers, what I plant, I shall harvest, across lifetimes. Have you felt it lately? Strange waves of déjà vu, faces that feel older than this life, emotions that rise without reason. These are not coincidences, they are karmic codes, activating soul contracts, some being fulfilled, others unraveling. As Baba Vanga once foresaw, there will come a time when people will meet not as strangers, but as souls recognizing their oldest lessons. And in this month, many of those silent meetings will unfold. Nostradamus hinted that, in the fire of the returning age, debts shall burn clean, and those who forgive shall rise like gold from ashes. Could this be that fire? The Dhammapada reminds us, not in the sky, nor in the midst of the sea, nor in a mountain cave. There is no place on earth where one may escape the results of one's deeds. But this truth is not a curse. It is a call to power, because once you see karma clearly, you no longer fear it. You bless it. You bow to it. And then, you release it. So if you feel that heavy weight, if old stories are rising again, don't run. Breathe. Forgive. Let go. This is your chance to reset the wheel, to return your karmic accounts to zero. And if it resonates, speak this aloud, not as a ritual, but as a vow to your soul. I free myself from cycles that are not mine to carry anymore. Are you ready to let go of what never belonged to you? Or will you carry the fire one more round? There is a number that arrives, not with thunder, but with quiet grace, like the hush after a storm, or the softness of a heart learning to breathe again. That number is 24. It is the sacred fusion of 2 and 4, compassion meeting structure, heart meeting truth. In Buddhist numerology, 2 is the symbol of empathy, emotional intelligence, and sacred connection. And 4 is the pillar, the 4 noble truths, the foundation upon which the entire path to awakening stands. Together, 24 doesn't ask you to escape emotion. It asks you to honor it, to make peace with the waves within. This July, the number 24 becomes a gentle teacher, whispering, can you sit with both joy and grief, without labeling either as wrong? Can you hold space for your light and still love the parts of you shaped in shadow? The emotional tides rising this month are not meant to break you. They are meant to soften you so that you may rise, not hardened, but whole. Baba Vanga once said, "The soul grows not in stillness, but in the storm it learns to dance within." And Nostradamus, in his cryptic visions, foresaw a time when the hearts of the awakened shall break open to become vessels of healing. Could that time be now? The Buddha gave us this luminous image. As a lotus flower is born in water, grows in water, and rises out of water to stand above it unsoiled, so I am, born in the world, risen above the world, unsoiled by the world. So if your emotions swell in waves this month, let them. But know that you are not the wave. You are the ocean. And deep beneath, there is stillness, waiting for you to return. Speak this softly to your heart. I anchor my emotions in compassion. I am safe to feel and heal. And ask yourself gently, what have I been running from within myself that is now asking to be loved? There are moments when the universe does not shout, it whispers, and in those whispers, if the soul is quiet enough, it hears its true name. This month, that whisper comes in the form of 36, a sacred frequency known as the healer's path. The number 3 holds the vibration of expression, communication, and spiritual creativity. The number 6 is the energy of service, compassion, and healing. Together, they form 36, the number of the Bodhisattva, the soul who, even in their own pain, chooses to walk the path of light, not just for themselves, but for all beings. July stirs this energy, and in that stirring, many will find old wounds rising to the surface. Not as punishment, but as prophecy. This is the moment when your suffering reveals its secret purpose, to become medicine, not just for you, but for others, walking silently beside you. Have you been resisting the call, turning away from your gift because you felt incomplete, unready, or unworthy? Baba Vanga once said, "Those who carry pain in their palms will one day heal others just by touching them." And Nostradamus, cryptic as ever, spoke of a time when the wounded shall become the waymakers. Could that time be now? The Lotus Sutra offers a radiant truth. Even a single verse, heard with the heart open, can become a doorway to enlightenment. You are that verse. You are not broken. You are becoming the healer you once searched for in others. And this becoming is not about perfection. It's about presence. So if dreams are speaking to you, if synchronicities are pulling at your awareness, if pain is knocking gently at the door of your heart, answer it. Offer this mantra to the sky, to your soul, to all sentient beings. I choose to serve, even as I rise. And ask yourself in stillness, what if my deepest wound was never a curse, but a sacred doorway to someone else's healing? There are numbers that count time. And then there are numbers that open doors beyond time. 48 is not something you see. It is something you step into. A threshold, a vibration, a cosmic gate. The number 4 is the element of earth, foundation, discipline, stability. It is the grounded soul, the one who walks with awareness on sacred soil. The number 8 is the eternal spiral, infinity, karmic return, and timeless flow. Together, 48 is the soul rooted in the earth, but aligned with the stars, a frequency that bridges dimensions. And in July 2025, this energy becomes more than symbolic. It becomes active. Rare celestial alignments are shifting the grid lines of reality. Dreams feel more vivid. Time bends and stretches. You hear a song you've never heard before, but it feels ancient. You read a line that feels like it was written just for you. You sense messages in silence. These are not random. These are invitations. 48 is opening, and not everyone will choose to walk through. Baba Vanga once prophesied a year when many will awaken beyond their own timelines, when the veil will thin and the echoes of other lives will call. Could 2025 be that year? Nostradamus spoke of a convergence, when realities once separate would begin to mirror each other, and choices would echo across dimensions. If that moment is now, then the choices you make hold power far beyond what you can yet see. As the Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we create the world. And so, with your thoughts, your courage, your stillness, you shape not just a future, but the future that your soul came to remember. Ask yourself with honesty, what truth have I been avoiding that is now seeking me? And if you feel the pull, if your chest stirs with something ancient, stand still, close your eyes, and speak this into the ether. I walk through the gate of my highest timeline. I choose it now, because sometimes the cosmos doesn't push you forward. It waits for your sacred yes. And then there is 8. Not just a number, but a loop without end. A symbol, a doorway, a mirror reflecting eternity. 8 is not something you count. It is something you become. It is the breath that returns to itself, the soul remembering its rhythm after lifetimes of forgetting. In Buddhist wisdom, 8 holds sacred power, the noble eightfold path, not as commandments, but as frequencies of alignment, the path of right living, right being, right becoming. This July, as timelines bend and cosmic gates open, 8 rises like a compass in your chest, pointing not north, but inward. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, not rules, but harmonics. When tuned correctly, you do not fight the current, you become the river. Nostradamus once wrote, "The infinite serpent coils around the sun, and the wheel returns to where it first began." Many dismissed it. Others whispered, "The serpent is 8, and the sun is the soul." Could this be the time he foresaw? A return not to a place, but to a state of remembrance. Baba Vanga spoke of a cycle where those who remember will walk the earth as if they never left the sky. And perhaps that cycle begins with 8. Because 8 is not a beginning. It is not an ending. It is the turning of the wheel, the Dharma finding its flow again through you. You are not starting over. You are picking up a thread you once held in a different lifetime. The book is not new. You're simply returning to the page where your soul paused last. Let yourself feel the weight of that, and then speak this, not as affirmation, but as remembrance. I remember who I am. I walk the path of infinite becoming. Let the energy of 8 spiral through your breath, your choices, your silence, and ask gently, what have I already mastered in lifetimes past that I am now ready to embody fully? The month begins with a whisper, and that whisper becomes a key, shaped as 12. At first glance, it seems simple, but spiritually, 12 is a portal, a sacred alignment of the One, the Self, the Initiator, and the 2, the Mirror, the Connector. Together, they awaken a hidden harmony between independence and union, action and surrender, ego and soul. In almost every mystical tradition, 12 marks divine structure, 12 zodiac signs, 12 disciples, 12 petals on the heart chakra, 12 links in the Buddhist chain of dependent origination, showing how one thing gives rise to the next in the cycle of becoming. Nothing in your life is random right now. If you feel stirred, restless, or like you're being positioned in ways you don't fully understand, it is because you are. This July, the energy of 12 arrives as a spiritual recalibration, a realignment with your cosmic blueprint. As the Buddha said, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so, the wise are not affected by praise or blame. The number 12 invites you to become that rock, centered, still, unshakable. Even as the world around you shifts, it's no coincidence that Nostradamus once alluded to the 12 wheels of fate turning behind the veil, or that Baba Vanga predicted a season when those once asleep will awaken with knowledge they never learned. Could this be your season of soul awakening? 12 is the doorway between the old self and the aligned self, the you that was surviving, and the you that is now ready to begin living fully aware. And so we begin where all true journeys begin. Not with movement, but with alignment. Breathe deeply, listen, then say aloud, I allow divine order to return to my life. I realign with the truth of who I am. And in the stillness that follows, ask yourself, what part of me is finally ready to wake up and step forward with open eyes and a fearless heart? And so we arrive at the threshold of July 2025, a month not of dates, but of frequencies, of karmic endings and cosmic gateways, of ancestral echoes, emotional tides and timelines converging, of healing what once broke us, and remembering what was never truly forgotten. Each number you've felt this month was not just in the sky, it was inside you, a code, a calling, a return. You were never late, you were always arriving, right on divine time, because you are the sacred number in human form, a living equation of stardust, memory, and purpose. If this message stirred something ancient in you, if your breath slowed, if your heart whispered yes, then honor the sacred energy you've received. Tap the thanks button with an offering, $50, or any amount that reflects the vibration of what touched your soul. In the Buddhist way, this is dana, the giving that multiplies, a karmic ripple that says, I received, and now I give, and speak into the comments, not just to me, but to the universe. I align my focus with the frequency of abundance. I choose the path my soul remembers. Because your words are spells, your presence is prophecy, and your choice is the portal. Until next time, may your days be numbered, not by time, but by truth.